We need not just to monitor people, we need to monitor what's happening under their skin. Monitor what's happening under their skin.
Under the skin.
Under their skin.
Under the skin.
He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Revelations 13:16. Know your enemy and understand what they're doing. The Antichrist mark is a genetic injection that will modify your DNA to recreate you in the image of the devil, arguing that it is the next step in evolution.
COVID is critical because this is what convinces people to accept, to legitimize total biometric surveillance. We want to stop this epidemic. We need not just to monitor people, we need to monitor what's happening under their skin. What we have seen so far, it's corporations and governments collecting data about where we go, who we meet, what movies we watch. The next phase is the surveillance going under our skin. We now see mass surveillance systems established even in democratic countries, which previously rejected them. And we also see a change in the nature of surveillance. Previously, surveillance was mainly above the skin. Now it's going under the skin.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Governments want to know not just where we go or who we meet. Above all, they want to know what is happening under our skin. What's our body temperature? What's our blood pressure? What is our medical condition?
In a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete.
When scanned, all of a person's information about their vaccination status is shown on a reader or phone.
Now humans are developing even bigger powers than ever before. We are really acquiring divine powers of creation and destruction. We are really upgrading humans into gods. We are acquiring, for instance, the power to re-engineer life.
Blasphemy.
Humans are now hackable animals.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy.
I think that fake news have been with us for thousands of years. Just think of the Bible. The whole idea that humans have, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will and nobody knows what's happening inside me. So whatever I choose, whether in the election or whether in the supermarket, this is my free will, that's over.
Our free will is over, apparently. The World Economic Forum is the New World Order. Now let's just see what's in store for us according to the Bible. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on the horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Revelations 13:1.
What is the 7-headed wild beast of Revelation chapter 13? The Bible's answer. The wild beast with 7 heads introduced at Revelation 13:1 represents the worldwide political system. It has authority, power, and a throne, which point to its being a political entity. It rules over every tribe and people and tongue and nation, so it is greater than a single national government. Revelation 13:7. It combines features of the 4 beasts described in the prophecy at Daniel 7:2-8, including the appearance of a leopard, the feet of a bear, a lion's mouth, and 10 horns. The beasts in Daniel's prophecy are identified as specific kings or political kingdoms that rule in succession over empires. Thus, the wild beast of Revelation chapter 13 represents a composite political organization. It ascends out of the sea, that is, from the turbulent masses of mankind that are the source of human governments. Revelation 13:1. The Bible says that the number or name of the beast, 666, is a man's number. Revelation 13:17 and 18. That expression indicates that the beast of Revelation chapter 13 is a human entity, not a spirit or demon entity. Even though nations may agree on few things, they unite in their determination to maintain their authority rather than submit to the rule of God's kingdom. They will also join forces to battle God's armies, commanded by Jesus Christ at Armageddon. But this war will result in the nations being destroyed.
Revelations 13:4. And they worshipped the dragon who gave authority to the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with it?" Meaning they're so powerful, we're not going to be able to fight them. In my opinion, the red dragon right here gave authority to the globalists. So the globalists and the red dragon are working together.
When we talk about the false prophet in a few moments, you'll learn that his strategy for gaining control of the world is to provide a license for everybody to basically be alive. We call it the mark of the beast, but basically this license was set up to control the economy of the world, and the way you qualified to be able to eat and sell and buy and all of that was to worship the beast, who is the Antichrist, the beast from the sea. And so that's where we get the mark of the beast, and he gains control over all the world. Here's the key thing that he does. He makes a covenant with Israel at the beginning of his career, and he promises to protect them from all of their Arabic enemies. And so Israel goes back home, and they kind of disarm. They use all of their inventiveness and try to rebuild their economy. And the Bible says while they're at peace, he comes in and he breaks the covenant that he had made with them.
So the peace treaty is negated.
At the end of 3.5 years, he comes in and he violates their temple. He comes in and he destroys. See, when he makes the covenant, he says, you can continue your worship. At the end of the 3.5 years, he says, that's it, no more. I'm going to be worshipped now. You don't worship anymore. And in what the Bible calls the abomination of desolation, the Antichrist actually goes into the Jewish temple. I mean, this is hard to comprehend. He goes into the Holy of Holies. He removes all the furniture and he sets up a statue in the Holy of Holies, which is an idol unto himself. And he requires the whole earth to bow down and worship.
What degree of persecution does Antichrist empower?
You know, it's interesting. It's a very insightful question because it's not just all overt persecution. Just stop and think about it for a moment. If you can't buy and you can't sell, pretty soon you don't have any food. And my belief is that many of the people during the tribulation are going to die from starvation because there won't be any way. They will not be able to participate in the economy of the world, and they won't be able to eat. And so little by little they'll die.
So we embody the most cruel of leaders, empowered by Satan,
Yeah.
who has now assumed control of the world.
Right. Just as God has a Trinity, Satan has a Trinity.
By now, I'm sure you have heard some of these taglines. The Fourth Industrial Revolution, the Great Reset, and the Great Narrative. And of course, you will own nothing and be happy. And I'm sure you've seen the face of this guy being praised as a visionary who will guide our world into a prosperous future. But what does that really mean? And what is the World Economic Forum's plan for the world in 2030? Will it be a world of increased inclusion, equity, and freedom for all? Or as many people fear, will it be exactly the opposite?
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stand with us.